Welcome to the Metal Voice. Today on the show, oh yeah, my friends, Frank, Bello, Anthrax. What's going on, brother?
I'm good. How are you doing? Belt. That's a secret thing we have going. We're having fun.
We're having fun here. Okay, so the most important thing, I read your bio.
Yeah.
This to me is probably the most important thing I've ever read.
Yeah, a lot of
the
issues.
Mars rover playing Got the Time.
Yes.
What on earth is going on with that? The first song to be played on Mars.
First off, you have to have a fan that's in NASA. that's really cool. And you know, we just got it like you guys. We just got a letter from somebody saying that they did that, and so it's amazing. You think about that. But certainly you got to remember that's a Joe Jackson song, so it's really not an Anthrax song. It's Anthrax's version of Joe Jackson, because I want to give him credit because he's such a brilliant artist and songwriter. I love Joe Jackson. So, but to hear that Anthrax's version of Got the Time is out there somewhere and maybe going around forever, which is awesome. So it was a nice thing for a day. You know, it was.
You just received a letter saying or an email saying, "Hey guys."
From our press people, yeah.
So it was actually playing at Control Center, right? And then from Control Center, they're just playing the song out to Mars with a 5-minute delay, whatever it is.
So, and then you see a lot of aliens like this. It was pretty cool. Oh, you guys didn't see that picture?
No, I didn't see that part.
They didn't release that. It's cool.
I didn't see that part. So, just so you know, that bass tone on that song from my friend Jay Sharp, this is for you. He loves your bass tone. He's a bassist. So
we unite. The bassists unite. Thank you, Jay.
All right. The new album, For All Kings.
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell me about the recording process. I mean, we've all heard the album. We all love the album. We all think it's excellent.
Thank you.
What was the recording process like? The ups, the downs. You know, I mean, there's always good and bad, right? Well, what happened in the studio?
It's at this stage, it's clockwork. Like for us, we go in and we always do the drums. Charlie, Scott, and myself get together to do the drums in LA with Jay Rustin, our producer. We'll do that, jam all the songs together, and make sure everything's right for the drums. Then individually, we leave the drum sessions. That takes almost probably a week, sometimes less, for just drums. Then I live on the East Coast. I live in New York. Scott lives in LA.
That's right.
Technology really rules nowadays, so it's great. I can do my tracks wherever I want, which I didn't. So Jay came to New York at a local studio near me. We did our tracks there, which worked out amazingly. So, you know, it all worked out. I can go home to see my family, all that stuff, so I don't have to be away. Scott did the same thing in LA, and it's really easy now. It's technology, although it has ruined the music business, but it has actually helped us with that, where you can go wherever you want to go to record, which is nice, and not have to be together. But the three of us are always together for the drum tracks, and it'll always be tightened up like that, so you know what you played already.
Yeah.
So you're good. So you go into your tracks knowing what it is.
Like you're not selling as many albums. Nobody is, right?
Nobody is. It's the name of the game.
The demand has increased tenfold globally, right?
Thankfully.
I mean, just like the olden days, there was tape trading.
Absolutely.
And then it created a demand, and then suddenly the bands became popular, right? Yeah. I mean, that's how Anthrax actually, you know, in the early days, I mean, as I remember when I was a kid, right? We all...
Well, it's still word of mouth. You think about it, even social media is still really word of mouth. That's right. Really what it is. That's the new tape trading. You know, check this out, check this out. It really is word of mouth. It's always been, and it continues to be. We've never had real airplay. We think about it.
Never. I've never heard
radio play, MTV, whatever that MTV thing is.
Yeah.
We've never really had kind of that big global music radio stuff. It's word of mouth. People, fans, talking to fans one-on-one. Check this out, or remember the old days it was letters and check this out, blah blah blah. There was no internet and stuff like that. That's right. But now there's this whole social media thing that makes it a lot easier to get across. And you know, thank God for it, because that is great to get our music out and spread the word. If you have a record that people are liking, thank God, it can really get out there, and that's really important.
Do you think you would have been, let's say there was no illegal downloading, and now we're talking hypothetically, right?
I think it'd be a different world.
It would be a different Anthrax album, wouldn't it?
No.
I mean, the corporation would push, you know, perhaps.
We've always said fuck the corporation.
All right.
Am I allowed to curse on this?
You're allowed to curse.
I let your son
we give you permission.
So we've always said that whole thing went out the door a long time ago. So we never really listened to anybody, which is the way you have to really do this, because you can't just write a record and put it right out. You have to digest it and it's got to be the right record. As fans, who the hell wants to put out a record that's not ready? I'm not interested. Nobody in this band is interested in that.
For All Kings, is it more of a darker album, more politically, you know, than your other albums? I mean, you have, you know, Evil Twin, and you have Blood Eagle Wings. I mean, they're leaning more towards social, political themes.
Well, you know Anthrax. It's Scott writes the lyrics in Anthrax. It's mainly what's affecting us, what's going on in life. this isn't a political band. You know that.
Yeah.
Look, I'm in a band, I'm in music to make people forget about their problems for a little while. That's really it. I can give a shit less about everything else. We can't control the world. We have our views, that's fine, but nobody wants to hear a musician tell them how to live their life.
But as overall, as a theme, I mean, it's a little more darker than it is.
Well, that but I always call that the next Anthrax record. You can't try to do something because that would be bullshit. Right?
It's true.
You don't
It's
want to try or contrive to do anything. So you really just have to make sure you go straight ahead and do it. You know?
All right. So in regards to, let's go back in time a little bit, just touch on the history of the band too. I mean, I've spoken to Scott. I did an interview with him. I've done an interview with Charlie, and everybody's got a different sort of
I'm
story.
the most fun, obviously.
Well, yeah, definitely, because you're actually in person. Those guys were in Skype. So
Really?
Yeah.
They don't even talk to you? Dude.
They do talk to me, but via Skype.
I'm just busting balls. Life is short. Let's have fun.
So, when you went and got into the band, all right, so Dan, it kind of, I don't know if it was pushed out, thrown out, fired, whatever the case was, you're in the band, right?
Yeah.
Where did you stand in all of it? I mean, you're like kind of laying low.
Just watching it happen.
Just watching it all happen?
Again, you invest. I had little time invested into it. It wasn't my band. When I invested my time into it in my life, and what happens with bands, it's like a marriage.
Yeah.
You invest everything into it, and that's it. Your life, and really, I'm with these guys more than any of my family at any time. So, it's everything. You have to put your all into a band like Anthrax, and when you do that, we're all partners, and that's the way. Everybody has their say in everything. That's the way it is. It's always been now since I've been in the band.
So as you watch that event unfold, right,
Yeah.
and they go, hey, Frank, come in the band, you and Charlie, of course, you're close.
Sure.
You're kind of saying, well, this is a great opportunity. I mean, what were your thoughts when you first got into the band? Like, oh, I'm just here temporary, I'm here on a permanent basis?
No, you don't think the future. Though it's weird, we were talking about this yesterday. You don't think, especially in thrash, think about it. Back then, there was Maiden, there was all that great stuff, Maiden, Priest, all that stuff we looked up to. All you wanted to do is be in a band and get that feeling on stage. You don't know how long it could last, a day, a week, who knows? You don't know if there's going to be a record deal, so you really don't know. All you can do is just live for that day, and that's what I think. God, man, we still do that. You can't, because I don't know what's going to happen next year. There could be no world next year. Who the hell? Yeah. God forbid, right? Oh, yeah. But I don't live like that. I live day to day and just try to complete each day.
Okay, moving into the John Bush here. I've interviewed John.
Yeah,
I think
he's awesome.
He's come to terms with the split, and I mean he's all good with it.
We were just emailing 2 weeks ago.
Would you ever see an Anthrax Armored Saint tour? Come on for. I mean, has it been reconciled so much that you can do that?
You have to understand, Joey Vera is literally one of my best friends in this whole thing. We talk a lot, and he's a great. And you know what? Quite honestly, when I have something to do with the family, Joey will come in and play a gig for me. So he played with Anthrax for a while. So my thing is, of course that can happen. But there's no ill stuff,
How about like an Anthrax fest where everybody sort of like goes through all the differerent periods?
Well, I don't know about that. Yeah,
I'm pushing. Right now, I'm a big fan from all the eras.
Cool.
Right?
I appreciate that. But right now, this is the Anthrax. So there's no other Anthrax. This is the only Anthrax we're doing. So
with the exception of the new album, and I think it's probably one of your best.
Thank you.
Especially with Joey on vocals.
Yeah.
Which other album do you find as a hallmark, as a
God, for me, it has to be Spreading, because that was my first record I played with these guys, the first official record. So for me, and that way, I think we really found who Anthrax was. This Anthrax. And then, of course, you have to go to Among the Living, because that was what everybody says was our breakthrough record and all that stuff. So it's been a great ride, man. All I want to do is write a good song. And go out there for an hour and a half or whatever we have on stage and make people forget about their problems for a little while. And that's as far as it goes. I want to enjoy my family and just fucking have fun. Man.
And on a last note, so you're with Slayer and Death Angel, right?
Awesome.
Jeff Hanneman, any cool stories that people,
Good friend of mine. There's so many. God rest his soul. Jeff is sorely missed. We love him. And that's not even a politically correct statement. We love Jeff, and we were all very close. In fact, but Jeff, I always think he's here. When they play a song, man, I'm on the side of the stage every night. He's always here, so I don't think. And Gary Holt, who's a great friend of mine, also, he's a great substitute for him. And if there's somebody to fill in, Gary's the right guy. You know what I mean?
Agree.
With all due respect, and because Jeff is one of a kind. He's awesome, never be forgotten, and he writes the riffs of death. I'm sure he's doing that in heaven right now. So wherever he is, I love him.
So all right, say hi to your family.
Love you all. I love it. Do you guys out there know that we have a father-son here?
Father-son.
Doing this recording
That's
right now.
right,
The son's
that's right.
recording. He's been yelling at him all day before he started
I took out the
recording.
belt before.
That's what the belt thing was about, just so you guys know. But I want to thank all the Anthrax fans out there for continuing to support us and staying around with us forever. And we'll just do our part to be metal. So thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, brother.